والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Okay, then let's inshallah ta'ala start with the first session, which is Surah Saff. And I believe, you're not reciting this? Okay, khair. We're not having recitation for this, but I'll play the recitation for you from Al-Quran, inshallah. What I'm going to try and do is we play the recitation with the translation. You think about it, we go through tafsir, then in the end, if we have time, then we recite it again, so that we have at least interacted with the surah 3 times, inshallah. And this is sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, learning and teaching, to do it in 3 times. Yeah? So inshallah, let's try to do that today. Okay, bismillah.
الرحمن الرحيم سبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لم تقولون ما لا تفعلون كبر مقتا عند الله أن تقولوا ما لا تفعلون إن الله يحب الذين يقاتلون في سبيله صفا كأنهم بنيان مرصوص وإذ قال موسى لقومه يا قوم لم تؤذونني وقد تعلمون أني رسول الله إليكم فلما زاغوا أزاغ الله قلوبهم والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين وإذ قال عيسى ابن مريم يا بني إسرائيل إني رسول الله إليكم مصدقا لما بين يدي من التوراة ومبشرا برسول يأتي من بعد اسمه أحمد فلما جاءهم بالبينات قالوا هذا سحر مبين ومن أظلم ممن افترى على الله الكذب وهو يدعى إلى الإسلام والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين يريدون ليطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم والله متم نوره ولو كره الكافرون هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ومساكن طيبة في جنات عدن ذلك الفوز العظيم وأخرى تحبونها نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا أنصار الله كما قال عيسى ابن مريم للحواريين من أنصاري إلى الله قال الحواريون نحن أنصار الله فآمنت طائفة من بني إسرائيل وكفرت طائفة فأيدنا الذين آمنوا على عدوهم فأصبحوا ظاهرين.
Beautiful surah, subhanallah, Surah Saff. Some introductory points regarding the surah first. Period of revelation is the approximately 3rd year after Hijrah, after Uhud. This is a time after Uhud, as you know, and we will look at Uhud in detail, inshallah, in the 5th session, which is next time, that the believers needed to realize the importance of unity and organized effort. Because in Uhud, we know that this was where we as a community were lacking the unity and organized effort, and as a result, we paid a price. Now, what's quite interesting is that in Juz 28, because this is in Juz 28, Qad Sami Allah, ya? Juz. We find some amazing surahs in that. And one of the points that some scholars there mentioned here is that these surahs, when you look at them, they are addressing the Muslims by saying, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, but as if to wake them up, to shake them. And we will find that in this surah especially. لِمَا تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Why do you say that which you don't do? Now if we look at just Surah Saff and its context, the surah which comes after it, in fact 3 surahs after it, Surah Saff we're going to look at today, Surah Jumu'ah we're going to look at, then after that is Surah Al-Munafiqun, and then there is Surah Taghabun, which we have already looked at in one of the sessions. The link here is here as follows. Surah Saff is a wake-up call. You have to do jihad fi sabilillah. Surah Jumu'ah, as we already mentioned in the linkage between the sessions, is what? What's the link? We mentioned it already. Good. Building blocks for reform, meaning you want to do jihad fi sabilillah. How do you prepare? Surah Al-Jumu'ah. Now, chocolate for the next thing that I haven't mentioned. What do you think is the rabt between this concept and Surah Al-Munafiqun? So you have to do jihad fi sabilillah and you need to prepare for it. But then Surah Munafiqun comes, the hypocrites. So what do you think is the rabt here, link? Possible link. Yes.
Is it that some people they pretend to strive to do stuff for sabilillah, but they only do it in their own image. They don't actually like feel it.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Excellent. Beautiful, mashallah. He said, mashallah, that some people they show that they are doing all this struggle, but they don't do it from the heart. Munafiq. And then that's one chocolate. You can pick what chocolate color you like. Which we have? Green. We have what is this? Lemon, blue, and pink. Green. Okay. Jazakallah khair. For another chocolate, what's the link now between Munafiqun and At-Taghabun? Because you remember At-Taghabun, which Under which heading we did that? Or which session we did that under? At-taghabun. Iman. So what's the link? Abdullah, you have your hand up. Huh? Yeah, we know that. Okay? Munafiq doesn't have iman, that's why he's munafiq. What's the link? Good. Don't be like munafiq, be like at-taghabun. Aminu billahi wa rasulihi. Thumma lam yartabu. Khair. So this surah, brothers and sisters, is waking us up, shaking us, yeah, throttling us. You know, throttling. That's what it's doing. Yeah. So with that introduction, hopefully we are awake. Let's now start with tafsir, inshallah. Sabbaha lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard wa huwa al-azizul hakim. Whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth, it is doing tasbih of Allah. And He, Allah, He is Al-Aziz, exalted in might, and Al-Hakim, He is the all-wise. Sabbaha yusabbihu tasbih. Sabaha means to swim, float. Yeah? Sabbaha, when we are doing tasbih, we are actually making something float. Or we are stating that something floats. So Quran says, Kullum fi falaqin yasbahun, regarding the planets, etc. That they are all orbiting and retaining their surface. Yeah? So tasbih means to put Allah at His level, which is above every level, which is completely free from any imperfection. He is completely free from any weakness and any need or any fault. So when we do tasbih, this is what we are saying. We are stating a fact that Allah, He is above and He is at His level. And He then hence is above the creation, the level of creation. There is no weakness in Him. This is tasbih. Tasbih can be of two types. One is the type I mentioned already, when we say it, which is qawli, yeah? To say tasbih, to say subhanallah. The other is tasbih hali. Tasbih hali, it can be understood by a simple example. Hali. Hali means your hal, how you are. Yeah? If you ever go to an art exhibition, yeah, you will see different artists, they are exhibiting their masterpieces, yeah? That portrait is itself speaking about its artist, yeah? Hali. Everything that exists is doing tasbih of Allah by the very fact that it has been created in that way. Isn't that amazing? Subhanallah. Everything in the heavens and the earth is giving testimony by the very existence of itself to the amazement and to the greatness of its creator. Tasbih hali. Now everything does tasbih. Allah Ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran. This is Surah Al-Isra, ayah number 44. Surah number 17, ayah 44. The seven heavens and the earth and whatever is in them exalt Him. Do tasbih of Him. And there is not a thing except that it does tasbih by His praise, but you do not understand their tasbih. So Allah Ta'ala mentioned clearly here, everything is doing tasbih of Allah, but you do not understand it. So when the birds are chirping, This can be tasbih. In the morning and in the evenings. We hear that, don't we? And so on and so forth. Everything has its tasbih. And Allah Ta'ala, He has given everything a certain way of communicating that tasbih. To the extent, just a side point, that on the Day of Judgment, even our limbs will speak. Even the hands will speak that you did this with me. This is how you disobeyed me, etc. So Allah Ta'ala, He gives everything the ability to speak and speech, nutq. Anyway, so everything glorifies Allah. So we understand what tasbih is, yeah? وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Allah, He is almighty. Al-Aziz, the one who can do anything that He wants, has full control. Al-Hakim, all wise as well. You know, when us as human beings or creation, we have a lot of power, we lose or we lack wisdom. We start doing things that we want without thinking. Allah Ta'ala, He is complete perfection in every aspect. Al-Aziz and Al-Hakim. The tafsir here is that if you do not, so this is the wake-up call now, yeah? If you do not, O believers, which is coming in the next ayah, do not do tasbih of Allah, meaning put Him at His level, then He is Al-Aziz, He will take revenge. Avenge, the better word. Yeah? And He's wise. So fear Him. Linking that to the next ayah as well, I'll read the next ayah so that it's clear. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. O you who believe, why do you say that which you do not do? Linking that to the first ayah, everything is doing tasbih. Everything. Either by saying it or by its very existence. But you, O believers, why are you not doing tasbih? Why are you not putting Allah as your priority number one? When you say He is, but you don't. In action, He is not. Yeah? So this is a reminder to the believers, because you see the believers as a whole, as more and more people accepted Islam in Medina, their iman was not like the iman of the believers who were in Makkah. Yeah? The iman of Bilal radiallahu anhu, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Uthman, and before him Umar, and after that Ali, etc., etc. Their iman was not like that, was it? So as a body of Muslims, the iman overall was weak. Not for the Sahaba from Makkah, but overall the believers needed to be shaken. So here Allah Ta'ala, He is saying that you need to do tasbih of Allah. Now what does that mean? Tasbih necessitates ita'ah. Tasbih, if we are doing tasbih, that necessitates that we are following and obeying Allah. Yeah? Well, now let's have a look at the next section here. Let's look at the sabab al-nuzul, or the context of the revelation of this ayah or this surah. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma mentions that some of the Sahaba, they were sitting together and they were saying that if we only knew what Allah loves the most, we would go and do the action. If we only knew what Allah loves the most, we would do that action. This is in Tirmidhi. And then ayahs 10 and 11 specifically in that hadith is mentioned, were revealed, and we will come to that. It's all linked anyway. However, when that was said, that we want to do what Allah loves, Allah Ta'ala revealed this, O you who believe, why do you say that which you do not do? Meaning in Uhud, you disobeyed the commander. Yeah? On the hillock or the hill. You say you want to obey, but you didn't. How is this in Allah Ta'ala's sight? What does Allah Ta'ala think of this attitude? And subhanAllah, the more you read this ayah, the more scared you get. The next section. kabura maqtan indallahi an taqulu ma la taf'alun. It is immensely abhorrent. Maqta. Maqta has a few meanings. Let me read out the dictionary meanings. To detest something, to find something abhorrent, to hate something, to be disgusted by something. This is maqta. And then the beautiful dictionary of Al-Quran, Mufradat Al-Quran, by Imam Raghib Asfahani, he says, this is the English translation, to have disgust after seeing somebody do something which is abhorrent and disgusting. This is maqta. That feeling that a person has when you see somebody doing something really horrible and disgusting and abhorrent, the feeling that a person gets. This is maqta. Allah Ta'ala didn't just say maqta, He said kabura maqtan. Immensely disliked. Dislike is very light. This maqta has been used in the Quran in a few places. It has been mentioned in Surah Ghafir 40, ayah 10. Yeah, 40, 10 if you write the reference. Because I want you to do extended learning. I know many people are not doing extended learning. Yeah, because you don't want to extend your learning. When I want to extend your learning. So we have to do jihad now. You push that way, I pull this way, inshallah. We keep striving with each other. In this, it mentions about maqta. Indeed, those who disbelieve will be addressed. This is on the Day of Judgment, yeah? So the disbelievers will be addressed. The hatred of Allah for you was even greater than your hatred of yourselves this day, because it has landed you into hellfire, when you were invited to the Iman but you refused. I'll repeat that. Allah Ta'ala is telling us that it would be said to the disbelievers when they are in the hellfire that the maqta now that you are feeling, it was greater. The feeling that you have now for yourselves, you hate yourself for this, to end up in this. Allah had more maqta when you used to refuse Iman. Yeah? To show us the emphasis here. There was a custom in Arabia before the Prophet ﷺ of nikah maqta nikah. It was a nikah which was abhorrent, but they did it. Yeah, so a person to marry his stepmother. Okay? This was abhorrent. They called it abhorrent. Maqta, nikah maqta. So just to give you the meaning of this word, because it's important. Because if we now read the ayah, kabura maqtan indallahi an taqulu ma la taf'alun, we realize how, in fact, one tafsir says this is major sin. To say that which you don't do. Who does that? Munafiq. Ayatu munafiq. How many signs of the munafiq? Thalath. Jazakallah khair. Good. Idha hadatha. Who can repeat? Who can continue? Idha hadatha. Loud. Kadhab. Good. Whenever he speaks, he lies. What's next? In English. When he promises, he breaks it. One more chance here, sisters. When he is entrusted, he does not fulfill the trust. He breaks the trust. One more quality in another hadith. Who can tell us? Yes? Yes, good. إِذَا خَاصَمَ فَجَرًا. When he disputes, he becomes out of control. Foul language, foul behavior. Fajara. Blows up. Yeah? This is munafiq. in this ayah there is tawbih. Tawbih means severe rebuke, to reprimand, to tell you off. It's like somebody is having a go at you. Allah Ta'ala, He's having a go at us. Why? Because He loves us. You know your parents, when they have a go at you, you hate it, but it's good for you. We all hate it, but it's good for us. Allah Ta'ala is having a go at us. There is one opinion that this, of course, it refers to the munafiqun, but also it refers to us who are weak in iman. Alhamdulillah, we are not munafiq, inshallah. We ask Allah Ta'ala to protect us from nifaq. Some other ayat in Al-Baqarah 44. أَتَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبِرِّ وَتَنْسَوْنَ أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ تَتْلُونَ الْكِتَابَ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. Who can translate that? Say again, where were you? Huh? I have to remember it now. Yes. Good, mashallah, very good, excellent, jazakallah khair. Do you, أَتَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبِرِّ, are you commanding people to good birr? You remember ayatul birr? وَتَنْسَوْنَ أَنفُسَكُمْ, when you forget your own selves. And you read the book, don't you think? Yeah? Allah Ta'ala is telling us that. This is referring to the people of the book. But of course, it's relevant to us if we follow the same footsteps. This is Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 44. Okay. Surah Hud, ayah 88. Yeah, another reference. I want you to become researchers of Al-Quran. This is my dream. That you and me, all of us, will become researchers of Al-Quran. We sit and we research. What did Allah say here? What did He say there? What does that mean? Let me check tafsir, let me understand it. And let me act upon it and convey it, inshallah. Ameen. Surah Hud, it says here that the Prophet is saying to his people, and I do not intend to differ from you in that which I have forbidden you. Meaning, I don't want to tell you don't do this and do it myself. This is the Prophet saying this. I don't want to tell you don't do this and do it myself. There is a hadith narrated by Malik ibn Dinar from Samama. You don't need to write everything, but just get the idea. On the night of Al-Isra, when the Prophet ﷺ was taken, the Prophet ﷺ, he witnessed, he saw people cutting their lips. Cutting their lips. You know, subhanAllah, the ahadith for Isra wal Miraj is scary ahadith. You know when Sha'ban is coming, yeah? And in Sha'ban, some people, what they say is Laylatul Miraj, etc. I think is it there, isn't it? I think so. Is it? Rajab, is it? Jazakallah khair. They forget all these ahadith. When there is this time, we should reflect. Read Surah Al-Isra, read the tafsir. So the Prophet ﷺ, he witnessed people cutting their lips with scissors of fire. He asked, he inquired, who are these people? He was told, these are the khutbah of your ummah. These are the people who used to give the khutbah. Yeah? May Allah protect us, subhanAllah. Who would say things but they would not do it, and they would recite Quran but they wouldn't act upon it. Dangerous. SubhanAllah. But there's balance in Islam. Because once you read that, you think, I'm not going to say anything. Huh? But Allah Ta'ala says, you have to do tawasi bil haqq. Now the question I have here, is, can you give da'wah or can you give nasiha regarding something that you don't do yourself? What do you think? So can you give da'wah or call towards something regarding something that somebody's not doing but you don't do yourself? Yes.
I'm thinking yes, with the intention that when you preach something, you'll practice it.
Good. Any others? Sisters?
Depending on the context, I'm thinking if somebody approaches me to, question me about something that I might not do myself, but I may know information about it, so I'll inform that person of what they've asked of me. So I think it will be allowed.
Okay. Any others? You want to say something, Tahir? You had your hand up. Sure? Yes, brother. Abdul Rafiq.
I was going to say, I would agree in saying yes, in that it's a positive action, and just because there's a negativity in terms of you not following it doesn't mean you should restrict yourself from performing a positive action.
Very good, mashallah. Yes, Nahid?
I think it's good to do the sincerity of the thing to say it. So if you're going to do it from a munafiq point of view, you're going to tell someone to do it, you don't believe in it yourself. I think that's where the problem starts.
Good, good. Jazakallah khair, yeah.
Yourself and you tell someone else, then maybe it's a bit more qualified. But if you're acting like munafiq, you don't really believe in it yourself and you're advising others to do it, then there's a problem.
Alhamdulillah. Yes, to give, you wanted to say something? Yes, Tahir?
It's linking to his that if you believe in it and you have the knowledge, but you may not act upon it, but if you don't tell anybody else, you're restricting someone else's knowledge, and you're not letting them know of something new. Like something
Jazakallah khair.
new.
Beautiful, mashallah. Allahu Akbar. Yes, if we, just to summarize what the, mashallah, you students of Quran, mashallah, may Allah bless you, that if we have knowledge of something, and it's correct, although we are weak in that we are not conducting it, but we don't have any tendency that I'm going to tell them but not do it myself at all, then in fact some people would argue you must tell the person. You must tell the person. Because you see, the one example they give is salah, pillar. Person doesn't pray, let's say, or he is weak in prayer, doesn't pray properly, or etc. The person still is obliged to tell people to pray. Because to pray is one hukum, and to tell people what is right and wrong is a hukum as well. Yeah? Obviously, this doesn't mean you go about telling people and you forget yourself. Of course, this is wrong. Some scholars said something beautiful. They said that, in fact, if you are sincere, then when you tell people, you will reflect and say, I don't do it, I will start to do it. So there's a balance. Huh? There's a balance. And subhanAllah, when you are weak in something, it's good to tell people, do it, because then you push yourself. Okay, let's move on. Let's have a quick look at the overview of this surah here. So the central theme is, Allah Ta'ala, He is inviting us to become His helpers. This is an amazing surah in that respect. Amazing. Ansarullah. Helping Allah. What? How can you help Allah? He doesn't need help. We does this tasbih of Allah. He's perfect. He doesn't need us. Allah Ta'ala is giving us a maqam, a status. He is honoring us by giving us an opportunity to help His cause. Khair, I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but you should have a look at it so you have an idea, just to help and aid understanding of the surah in chunks. So we've mentioned ayah 1, and ayah 2 and 3 we have looked at. Let's look now at ayah 4. So far Allah Ta'ala, He has told us that everything does tasbih. You, O believers, you should do my tasbih. But when you don't do that, by not doing what you say, this is extremely disliked by Allah. So, as soon as you hear that, what do you want to know? What does He like? Yeah? Allahu Akbar. Allah Ta'ala is so merciful, He told us that. Yes, Tahir?
You said that every
beautiful question. Okay, whoever can answer this question, chocolate, yeah? Sheikh Tahir, he is asking a question. Inshallah, he will be Sheikh of this Ummah, Ameen. That, what about the believers, the people who don't believe in Allah? Can they do tasbih? So, yes, brother.
The fact that Allah made your body and the way the body acts, it's obeying Allah. Your blood, the way it flows, it doesn't disobey Allah. It does it in the way Allah wants it to be. The movement, thought.
So the fact that this person has been created by Allah and his body functions, like the brother said, his, let's say, blood, etc. This system is itself, by it functioning in that way, is doing tasbih of Allah. Anything else? Yes. Yeah. The fact that you have a fitrah inside you is in fact a tasbih, but it's not apparent. It's it's there. The fact that it exists is, brother. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Brother is reminding us of an ayah that the shadows in the morning and in the evening, they bow down. They are doing tasbih of Allah. Okay? Khair. Let's move on, inshallah. So, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِهِ صَفًّا كَأَنَّهُمْ بُنْيَانٌ مَرْصُوصٌ. This is a beautiful ayah. Allah, He loves who? The people who do qital, who fight. But they don't just go and fight. Fi sabilihi. They fight for the cause of Allah. We'll explain that. How? In an organized way. Saffan. Not one-man mission. Huh? This is not part of Islam. Yeah, organized. If there's a military expedition, this is an organized by a head of a state. Yeah, not just, okay? And they are as if كَأَنَّهُمْ بُنْيَانٌ مَرْصُوصٌ. So Faisal, what is the meaning of bunyan from the vocabulary? It's not that. Your name has become Faisal. MashaAllah. 2 Faisals here. Faisal Ahmad, you have surname. That's a good joke, but it's not good. Okay, sisters, what is the meaning of marsus? Everybody looking at notes. Good. Sister Tanvira, what is marsus? Joint firmly. And bunyan is what? Rahat. Akikur, what is bunyan? Ikram. Good. Good. Bunyan is a structure. You know the hadith, Buniyal Islamu ala khamsin. Islam is built on 5 pillars. Bunya. Foundation, yeah? Structure. In Urdu, vest is bunyan. You know that? In Urdu. You say, did you wear your bunyan? This is old Urdu. Not old Urdu. We don't know Urdu. That's all. Anyway, structure. Bunyanum marsus, a structure which is very, very strongly created. Let's have a look at the tafsir to give you more detail, inshallah. Please make a note of this beautiful ayah. This is Surah Ali Imran. Which surah number is Ali Imran? Nusayba? Which surah number is Ali Imran? 3rd. Good. 3rd, yeah? Ali Imran. Because Al-Fatiha, Al-Baqarah, and then Ali Imran. I used to make the same mistake. Khair. So Ali Imran, ayah number 31. Ayah 31. Beautiful. Subhanallah. I remember our Sheikh, he used to mention this a lot. I'm sure Brother Dawud remembers as well. Qul, say, in kuntum tuhibbuna Allah fattabi'uni yuhbibkum Allah wa yaghfir lakum dhunubakum wallahu ghafurur rahim. Say, so the Prophet ﷺ is being told to say to the people, if you claim to love Allah, in kuntum tuhibbuna Allah, what do you have to do? Fattabi'uni. You have to follow my way. What will happen? Yuhbibkum Allah. Allah will love you. and He will forgive you your sins. Allah is Ghafur Rahim. So, to love Allah needs proof. You know, and he used to give same example, our teacher. He used to say, if you love your wife, but you don't buy her anything, do you love her? Nahid is saying no, because he's getting married inshallah in August. Huh? MashaAllah, make dua for him. You see, last QFC we made dua, he's MashaAllah now hitched. Yeah, now we make dua for your future, inshallah, Ameen. And all the brothers and sisters who are not married, inshallah. May Allah give you pious, inshallah ta'ala, zawj and zawja, Ameen. See, Nahid sitting there, I forget what I'm doing. Astaghfirullah. Yes. To love Allah means to follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, in a nutshell, what did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam do for 23 years? Da'wah. Da'wah ila what? Da'wah to what? Calling to what? Tawheed. Da'wah ila Allah. Yeah? Now, what does it mean? Inna Allaha yuhibbul ladina yuqatiluna. So Allah loves that you follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Here, explicitly, yuqatiluna fi sabilillah. Yuqatiluna, as I said, is the fighting in his cause. Jihad, just to mention the word jihad, because jihad is very misunderstood by Muslims and non-Muslims. Jihad is from juhud. Jim, ha, dal. Juhud. Jahada yujahidu. Juhud means to strive, struggle, make an effort. So when you came to QFC this morning, we all had to make a struggle, effort. First we have to struggle with shaitan. Yeah? And our nafs, etc. To do something. Juhud. So jihad has levels. Struggle has levels. Everything in life struggles, yeah? We have to struggle, otherwise we can't exist. We have to struggle with our nafs. We have to struggle against shaitan and his whispering. We have to struggle against the negative influences. We have to struggle against enemies of Islam. We have to struggle against anything and everything that is stopping us from obeying Allah, etc., etc., yeah? The highest level of that jihad is to then fight in that cause. So what is fi sabilillah? This is what we need to understand. Anybody can tell us what fi sabilillah means? What does it mean by fi sabilillah? Yes. Purely and sincerely for the sake of Allah, yes.
To make the word of Allah the highest.
MashaAllah, he has my answer already. To make the word of Allah supreme, because the Prophet ﷺ told us in hadith, when he was asked and he was telling us what does it mean by fi sabilillah, to go to fight. It is not to fight for your tribe. It is not to fight because you have some enmity, personal. And now I have a chance to take revenge. You know the famous incident, was it Ali radiallahu anhu, I think, who he was about to, in the battlefield, kill somebody, and then the person spat in his face, and he didn't. Because he said, now, I might have polluted my intention, I might have killed the person because of my personal anger. SubhanAllah, look at that training. And that's Surah Al-Jummah, isn't it? The training that we need for that. So, fi sabilillah is man qatala li takuna kalimatullahi hiya al-ulya. Fahuwa fi sabilillah. Kama qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The one who fights so that the word, the kalima of Allah is the highest, is supreme. This is in the way of Allah. You see the link between this and tasbih now? Can we see the link between tasbih and this? There is hali tasbih, we by our existence. Qawli we are saying, but this is fi'li tasbih. Action. Yeah? To act in a way that makes Allah Ta'ala supreme, in that He is supreme. But is what He is saying, is that being implemented? Or is that actually supreme? Or is it ignored? This is the crux of Tawheed and Ibadah, isn't it? So Allah, He loves this. So we said already, bunyan means a structure, a wall, a foundation, a construction. Marsus is interesting. Few things, so that you get, inshallah, a deeper understanding of marsus. It's from ras. You know, qalam risas is lead pencil, isn't it? Yeah, because lead is strong or it's compact. Marsus is to fit tightly together, press together, to compress, to align, arrange side by side, to cover with lead, linguistically. Okay? So it's not just something that is compact, it's actually arranged as well. Now in Salah they say tarasu, or they say taras, meaning come together and be straight. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he said, they are like a firm structure that does not move because its parts are cemented together. These are who? Who is this referring to? The believers. The believers whom Allah said, what about them? He loves them. Inna Allah yuhibbu, innit? Allah Ta'ala says He loves these people who are organized and together, cemented together, reinforce each other. As the hadith says, let me read it to you. Al-Muslim lil-Muslim kal bunyan yashuddu ba'duhu ba'da. A Muslim for another Muslim is like a structure. Part of it supports and strengthens another part of it. Now the question is, do we do that? That's the issue. This one surah could make a big difference to our community. Because it's about supporting good and supporting each other, to have that collective unity and a wall that can then withhold and it can withstand, jazakallah khair. It can withstand any attack because it's together. Yes.
Just a reflective point. I think this actually shows possible haq in actual practice.
Beautiful, mashallah, brother
Someone
said.
might actually have a weakness, so it's your job to tell that person, look, you should do this. And at the same time, you have a weakness as well. So we should be aware of, obviously, your own weakness, but also trying to enforce one another to make sure that we
Jazakallah khair. Beautiful point. Did you get the point? Maybe you didn't because it was not loud enough. The brother said something very nice, alhamdulillah, that this being together, Saff, in Saff, Bunyan and Marsus, is actually tawasa bil haqq. When you are giving each other this advice, there's weakness in both of you, supporting, helping, trying to improve each other. Bunyan and Marsus. Beautiful, subhanallah. So Allah Ta'ala, He loves these people. Hadith in Imam Ahmad says, Sa'id al-Khudri, radiallahu anhu, he says that the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah laughs at three. Yeah, Allah laughs at three. The man who stands part of the night, so this pleases Allah. The people when they prepare for their rows for prayer, so when they're preparing the rows, Allah likes this. Yeah. And the people when they prepare their rows for the battlefield. Allah Ta'ala, He loves this, that the people are being organized and arranged. And we as Muslims, we don't like queuing up. Yeah? Especially if you know somebody, if you're the steward, yeah? And you know somebody. And you say, Uncle Ji, you know me, let me go through. We don't like queuing up. But alhamdulillah, Bilal must have good system there, mashallah, that's good, I like that. They make people queue and we should all queue and we shouldn't try to get in first, yeah? We should go to our place. But this is us being together, yeah? Where nobody has any rank better than the other person. Okay. Let's take 2 more ayat, then we'll stop for an activity, inshallah. Surah Al-Anfal, this is Surah 8, ayahs 45 to 46. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا لقيتم فئة فاثبتوا واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. O you who believe, when you meet a host in the battle, then stand firm and remember Allah greatly so that you may be successful. وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, and obey Allah and His Messenger. وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا, and do not dispute. And this will be covered in detail in the next session, section 5 inshallah. وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ, because you will lose heart. وَاصْبِرُوا, have patience, in Allah مَعَ الصَّابِرِينَ, and Allah is with the ones who have sabr. So Allah Ta'ala, He is commending us to be steadfast together and not to dispute. And the very famous ayah in Al Imran 103, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا, that hold tightly, grip it with strength, the rope of Allah, and do not be divided, which is to follow the Quran. The Quran is amazing. It's, in another hadith, it is the link between us and the sama, meaning Allah. And it's quite amazing. If there is one cord hanging and everybody just attaches to that cord, can they differ? They can't differ. They can't differ. So Allah Ta'ala made it easy to be united. There will be differences. Yeah, differences, they're minor issues. But on the major things we will find, and we in the pre-course you would have come across this, that the ijma of the ummah, you will find the majority of things we agree upon it as an ummah. All the major things. So Allah Ta'ala, He is mentioning that here. Now some practical things to think about. As teams of people who are giving da'wah, how can we now introduce, if we are not already doing this in our teams, how can we introduce this concept of us being standing firm with each other, supporting each other? Any practical advice for us? Because we are all, alhamdulillah, involved in da'wah at some point or in some way or the other. Or we should be doing something along those lines. So how can we now take this as something we need to go and do? Yeah. Go on.
One thing I find quite powerful as a tool when speaking to other people about Islam.
This is, I'm talking about teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Team. So it's to be able to listen to one another really well. So what I mean by that is if you're moving as a team and there's people in the team that don't listen to one another, really listen, then it makes it difficult to function as a team. So to be able to have
when they're having the conversations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really to be able to listen to what they're saying and think about what they're saying and not just have your own idea and just go with that.
Jazakallah khair. Brother gave a good, sorry, because of time I'm going to, brother gave a good example. When we are in a dawah situation, we should actually go and listen to each other having that conversation. We will learn from each other. Also, we should think about, we need to be given the same message. And that is in which surah of the pre-course? That has been mentioned. Which surah?
Yes, see.
You don't look very convinced about your answer.
Yeah, it's just that incident with that.
Good, Jazakallah. Now I'm convinced. Yes, yeah? They came with the same message, yes. Tahir?
There's little things again. If you're listening and then you see your teammate unable to answer the question of the...
Good, mashallah. Step further. Excellent. So Tahir is saying that if you are listening to your colleague and the person might get stuck with something, then you can now help. Beautiful, mashallah. But before that, yes, Brother Daud?
I think the structure of the compromise has to have team people and people who know what they're supposed to do and execute their daily life. So there's top-down structure.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Jazakallah khair. Yes. From mashallah, his experience in organizations, very rightly said that we need to have a team structure. We need to be clear who's team leader and who's doing what role, audio visual role, catering role, etc., etc., etc. And then every person needs to then do their best because we are a building. Any one brick that is weak will affect the whole building. So we can't afford to do that. So we become collective in that regard.